There's something profoundly wrong with the way people try to manifest money, and it's not what you think. Imagine spending months making affirmations, visualizations, meditating on abundance, and still seeing your bank account practically untouched. That was my world until I discovered a quantum mechanism so powerful that it literally dismantled everything I knew about financial manifestation. In 30 days, I manifested $10,000 not through traditional manifestation strategies, but through a quantum principle so radical that it goes against everything you've ever heard about financial attraction. And the strangest part? It wasn't through any external effort. It wasn't because of a new business, a course, or a marketing strategy. It was something much more subtle, much deeper, something that happens in the quantum field even before any result appears in the physical world. This isn't spiritual motivation, this is physics. Literally quantum mechanics in action, revealing a manifestation mechanism that most people will never understand. Most people are trying to manifest money as if it were a distant object. But money isn't an object, it's a frequency. And you can tune into that frequency in ways that completely defy conventional logic. Today, I'm going to reveal exactly how I used the law of assumption to create a financial reality that seemed impossible, not through techniques, but through a quantum transformation of identity. But before I get into the details, I need to dismantle something fundamental. Everything you've been taught about manifestation is profoundly wrong. Traditional financial manifestation is based on a fundamental lie, the idea that you need to do something to have something. Have you ever noticed that the more you try to manifest money, the more it seems to elude you? This is not a coincidence. It's a direct reflection of how you are operating in the quantum field. In the quantum universe, there is no separation between the observer and the observed. What you assume to be true is not just a thought. It's a direct instruction to the field of potentialities. Most people operate in a vicious cycle. They desire money. They feel a lack of money. They create more lack. They repeat the cycle. But what if I showed you that real manifestation happens before any external result? That money already exists in potential, just waiting to be collapsed by your frequency? In quantum mechanics, particles exist in all possible states simultaneously until they are observed. Your financial state works exactly the same way. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the exact quantum mechanism I used to collapse $10,000 into my reality, a process that goes far beyond visualizations or affirmations. But first, we need to completely dismantle what you've been conditioned to believe about manifestation. Imagine a laboratory in the early 20th century. Pristine white walls, gleaming equipment, the air thick with scientific anticipation. Quantum physicists standing around a simple apparatus that would ultimately demolish everything humanity understood about reality. The double-slit experiment, a portal into the most profound mystery of existence. Electrons fired through two microscopic slits, seemingly simple, yet containing a revelation that would shatter our understanding of consciousness and manifestation. When unobserved, these electrons behave like waves, creating an interference pattern suggesting they pass through both slits simultaneously. But the moment a conscious observer watches, the electrons collapse into definitive particles, choosing a single path. This isn't metaphorical. This is literal physics revealing something extraordinary. Consciousness doesn't just perceive reality, it creates reality. In that sterile laboratory, scientists witnessed something that defied every previous scientific assumption. The act of observation wasn't passive, it was generative. The electron wasn't just being seen, it was being decided into existence. And here's where it gets radical for your personal manifestation. You are that electron. Every potential timeline of your life exists simultaneously, vibrating with infinite possibility. Your consciousness isn't just perceiving potential realities, it's collapsing them into form through the pure act of observation. Most people think manifestation is about wanting something, but quantum physics reveals it's about becoming the frequency of what you desire so completely that reality has no choice but to reorganize around your internal state. When I manifested $10,000, I wasn't trying to get money. I was becoming the version of myself who already embodied that financial frequency, just like those electrons choosing their path the moment they were observed. Your nervous system is the most sophisticated quantum instrument on the planet. It doesn't just react to reality, it generates reality. Every emotion, every subtle internal shift is a signal sent into the quantum field, instructing potential timelines to collapse. Let's dive into those precise quantum manifestation moments that sabotage your reality before it even begins. 3 a.m. Doubt moment. You're wide awake, heart racing, that crushing weight of financial uncertainty pressing against your chest. Traditional manifestation would tell you to think positive, but quantum physics reveals something far more profound. That 3 a.m. panic isn't a weakness. It's your nervous system broadcasting a frequency of scarcity so powerfully that it's literally preventing your desired reality from collapsing. Most people try to suppress this moment, but the quantum field doesn't respond to suppression. It responds to integration. Your 3 a.m. doubt is actually a portal, not a problem. It's your consciousness showing you exactly where your internal frequency is misaligned. The quantum shift? Instead of fighting the doubt, you become the curious observer. Interesting. What frequency am I broadcasting right now? Not as a mental exercise, but as a pure energetic investigation. Your body knows. Drop your awareness into your nervous system. Feel the contraction. Breathe into it. Not to change it, but to understand it. In that moment of pure, non-resistant observation, something extraordinary happens. The very act of witnessing without judgment begins to dissolve the frequency of lack. You're no longer a victim of the doubt. You've become its master. Bank account checking ritual. Every login feels like an emotional minefield. Traditional manifestation says, visualize abundance. But you know that hollow feeling when numbers don't match your vision board. Quantum manifestation reveals a different mechanism entirely. Those numbers aren't your reality. They're a residual signal from a previous frequency you've already transcended. Your bank account is a lagging indicator, not a limitation. The quantum field doesn't care about your current balance, it cares about the frequency you're broadcasting right now. When you check that balance, instead of contracting, expand. Feel the numbers as pure information, not emotional judgment. Your worth isn't defined by digits. Your worth is defined by the quantum potential you're willing to embody. The subtle shift? Breathe. Smile. Not because the numbers are different, but because you understand the game at a frequency most people can't even perceive. Morning anxiety before opening eyes. That moment of dread before consciousness fully arrives. Traditional spirituality would say gratitude journal, but quantum physics reveals something far more precise. This is your nervous system's default programming attempting to reassert itself. Your first moments of consciousness are the most potent manifestation portal. Whatever frequency you stabilize in those first 90 seconds sets the quantum instruction for your entire day. Most people unconsciously replay old trauma, old limitations. The quantum hack? Before opening your eyes, become the curious observer. What frequency are you broadcasting? Not through thought, but through pure awareness. Drop into your body. Feel the subtle vibration beneath the anxiety. Breathe into it. Not to change it, but to understand its origin. In that moment of non-resistant awareness, you're literally reprogramming your quantum operating system. You're sending a signal to the field that says, I am no longer defined by my previous programming. Jim Carrey's $10 million quantum manifestation decoded. Most see a Hollywood success story. I see a precise quantum field manipulation that defies conventional understanding. Before fame, Carrey wasn't just visualizing. He was quantum engineering his entire reality through a mechanism so advanced it borders on scientific heresy. In 1987, long before becoming a star, Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check, dating it 5 years in the future. But this wasn't a vision board trick. This was a quantum frequency transmission, a deliberate collapse of potential timelines through pure embodied certainty. The quantum mechanism wasn't the check. It was Carrey's internal state. He didn't hope. He didn't wish. He knew. His nervous system was already broadcasting the frequency of a $10 million actor before Hollywood recognized him. Most people misunderstand manifestation as external action. Carrey understood it as internal recalibration. 3 precise quantum practices he unconsciously deployed. 1. Frequency stabilization. Carrey didn't just imagine success. He felt success internally. His body chemistry, vocal tone, postural alignment, everything communicated, I am already this version. Quantum physics reveals that your body is the most sophisticated broadcasting instrument. Every cell either confirms or contradicts your desired reality. 2. Non-attachment quantum principle. Counterintuitively, Carrey's success accelerated when he stopped desperately wanting it. He entered what quantum physicists call coherence, a state where internal signals are so precise that external reality must reorganize around them. Desire becomes instruction, not desperation. 3. Vibrational matching. He didn't just think like a successful actor. He became the energetic signature of a successful actor. Watching his early performances, you can see a quantum principle in action. He was already living the frequency before the physical manifestation arrived. The collapse moment wasn't magical. It was inevitable. When your internal frequency matches a timeline so precisely that the field has no alternative, manifestation isn't a hope. It's a physics equation. Most cannot replicate this because they're broadcasting mixed signals. Carey's genius wasn't talent. It was quantum coherence, the ability to transmit a signal so pure that reality had no choice but to conform. So here's your checkpoint. A declaration, not to the algorithm, but to yourself. Type in the comments, "I collapse realities, I don't chase them." Say it as a code, a reminder that what collapses reality is not your old desperate hoping, but the quantum embodiment you choose in this moment. Because this moment is the manifestation. And if you can feel it now, then it's already here. The Quantum Collapse Chronicles, from manifestation exhaustion to frequency mastery, 2 years of spiritual self-torture, vision boards collecting dust, affirmation journals filled with desperate scribbles. Every morning, same ritual: write desires, visualize, feel nothing. The universe felt like a cruel joke, and I was the punchline. By year 2, my manifestation practice had become a weapon of self-destruction. Each unmanifested dream was another proof of my fundamental unworthiness. I wasn't just failing at manifestation, I was failing at existence. The exhaustion wasn't just mental, it was cellular. My nervous system had become a broadcasting station of perpetual disappointment. The quantum discovery happened on a Tuesday, not dramatically, quietly, like a whisper that suddenly becomes a thunderclap. I wasn't seeking breakthrough, I was seeking survival. First 7 days of quantum recalibration. Day 1, pure skepticism. My entire body was a fortress of resistance. Another spiritual hack, my inner critic sneered. But something felt different, not in the technique, in my relationship to the technique. Day 3, first subtle signal. A text from a forgotten contact, an opportunity that felt like it was waiting, not chasing. My nervous system began to recognize something was shifting. Day 5, synchronicity erupted. Not the cute Instagram spiritual kind, the kind that makes your skin tingle. Conversations, connections, opportunities, all arriving with a precision that defied coincidence. Day 7, complete collapse, not of effort, of old identity. The version of me that needed to try was dissolving. Something was broadcasting through me, not by me. 30-day quantum transformation. Physiological shifts emerged first. Sleep transformed from restless survival to deep quantum regeneration. Energy wasn't just increased, it was different, clearer, more coherent. Relationships realigned, not through manipulation, through frequency. People who couldn't see me before suddenly understood me completely. Money stopped being a struggle, became a flow, and communication with the quantum field. Intuition became my primary navigation system, not as a mystical concept, as a precise instrument of reality creation. The most profound realization? Manifestation was never about getting. It was about becoming so aligned that reality reorganizes around your internal state. Quantum timeline architecture, the multiverse as your personal playground. Imagine reality not as a linear path, but as an infinite probability landscape where every potential version of your existence simultaneously breathes, vibrates, and pulses. The many worlds interpretation isn't a theory, it's your operating system. Schrödinger's famous thought experiment reveals a profound truth. Reality exists in superposition, multiple states coexisting until observation collapses a specific potential. Your consciousness isn't just witnessing reality. It's continuously selecting which timeline activates. Practical quantum timeline navigation. 1. Timeline recognition markers. Subtle energy shifts, synchronistic encounters, unexplained déjà vu moments. Physiological resonance changes, intuitive downloads that feel too precise. 2. Frequency matching technique. Most people attempt timeline jumping through visualization. The quantum mechanism is far more sophisticated. You don't visualize. You become the vibrational signature of the timeline. Meditation protocol for timeline attunement. Drop awareness into heart center. Breathe without controlling breath. Feel the timeline as a living, breathing entity. Notice where your nervous system contracts or expands. Track subtle emotional signatures. The quantum truth. You're not manifesting new realities. You're recognizing realities that already exist, waiting for your precise frequency to activate them. Why people live. Different realities. Contrary to spiritual cliché, people aren't in different realities metaphorically. They are literally inhabiting parallel dimensional experiences based on their quantum broadcast. Your current reality is a precise reflection of your nervous system's dominant frequency. Change the frequency. Collapse an entirely new timeline. Timeline stabilization requires emotional coherence, nervous system recalibration, non-attachment to specific outcomes, quantum curiosity versus linear expectation. Advanced practitioners understand you're not choosing a timeline. You're recognizing the timeline that's always been waiting for your vibrational match. Quantum manifestation. Beyond popular spiritual technologies, the spiritual marketplace is filled with manifestation methods, each containing fragments of a profound truth, yet missing the complete quantum mechanism. Let's decode 3 popular approaches, revealing not their failures but their evolutionary potential. 1. Law of attraction. The incomplete frequency map. What they got right. Focus creates reality. Attention determines energetic magnetism. What's missing? Frequency isn't a mental exercise. It's a full nervous system recalibration. Most practitioners treat focus like a surface-level thought experiment. Quantum reality demands cellular broadcasting. The LOA teaches you to think differently. Quantum manifestation requires you to exist differently. Why partial results occur? Momentary alignment creates momentary manifestations. Sporadic coherence produces sporadic outcomes. 2. Neville Goddard, feeling as quantum signal. Closest predecessor to quantum understanding. Goddard understood something revolutionary. Feeling precedes physical manifestation. His living from the end technique was a proto-quantum navigation system. What he missed. Feeling isn't just emotional. It's a complex neurobiological transmission. Your body doesn't just feel, it communicates entire timelines. The quantum upgrade. Feeling isn't a technique, it's a complete identity reorganization. 3. Abraham Hicks, emotional frequency mapping breakthrough. Contribution, emotional states as vibrational indicators, emotional scale as energetic navigation. Quantum completion, emotions aren't just indicators, they're quantum signal generators. Most practitioners try to manipulate emotions. Quantum masters recognize emotions as communication systems with fundamental reality. The emotional scale isn't about feeling good. It's about becoming a precise quantum instrument, unifying quantum perspective. These methods aren't wrong. They're evolutionary stages pointing toward a more sophisticated understanding. Quantum manifestation isn't a replacement. It's the underlying mechanism revealing how all manifestation truly operates. So here's your checkpoint. A declaration not to the algorithm, but to yourself. Type in the comments, I am the quantum mechanism. Say it as a code, a reminder that what collapses reality is not your old spiritual techniques, but the quantum embodiment you choose in this moment. Because this moment is the manifestation, and if you can feel it now, then it's already here. The real question isn't whether manifestation works. The real question is, are you willing to become the precise quantum instrument reality has been waiting for? Quantum frequency calibration, nervous system reprogramming, transmission. Find a comfortable position, not rigid, not collapsed, balanced. Breathe in, 4 counts. Hold, 4 counts. Exhale, 6 counts. Your nervous system is not a passive receiver. It's a quantum broadcasting instrument. Scan your body, not as judgment, as observation. Where do you feel contradiction? Jaw, holding desire's tension. Shoulders, carrying unresolved effort. Stomach, storing unprocessed fear. Each exhale releases cellular programming, not fighting, dissolving. This is not meditation. This is quantum recalibration. Feel the timeline where your desired reality is already complete, not imagination. Cellular memory. Your body doesn't distinguish between remembered and anticipated. Only frequency matters. Lock in this frequency, not as hope, as baseline. Your nervous system is now a precise quantum instrument, broadcasting, not waiting. Every cell knows, Every molecule understands. You are collapsing realities, not chasing, being. Quantum field responds to your unshakable coherence. Quantum frequency integration transmission. To help you deepen that integration, we've created something intentional, something precise. A transmission designed to stabilize your new frequency, anchor your expanded identity, and guide you through the real embodiment of quantum creation. It's called Quantum Nervous System Activation, and it's more than just a digital guide. It's a frequency calibration toolkit that brings together neuroscience protocols, quantum meditation techniques, and precise embodiment practices you didn't even know you needed until now. You'll find the link in the pinned comment below. Go there not to get more information, but to amplify the integration of what's already begun inside you. Neuroscience of Quantum Field Navigation 1. Reticular Activating System. The Quantum Filter. Scientific mechanism. Filters. 40 million bits of information, allowing only 40 bits into conscious awareness. Quantum parallel. Your consciousness is a selective quantum instrument. Practical application. Deliberately program your RAS by repetitive sensory and emotional signals to alter perception. 2. Neuroplasticity. Reality rewiring infrastructure. Scientific mechanism. Brain physically rewires based on repeated signals and experiences. Quantum parallel. Consciousness shapes physical neural architecture. Practical application. Intentional visualization isn't just mental, it's physical brain reconstruction. 3. Heart-brain coherence. Electromagnetic reality transmission. Scientific mechanism. HeartMath research shows heart generates strongest electromagnetic field in body. Quantum parallel. Heart isn't just an organ, it's a quantum broadcasting system. Practical application. Coherent heart rhythms can entrain external electromagnetic fields. 4. Mirror neurons. Embodiments quantum mechanism. Scientific mechanism. Neurons fire identically when performing or observing an action. Quantum parallel. Observation and participation are quantum indistinguishable. Practical application. Embodied visualization creates identical neurological signatures as lived experience. 5. Theta brainwaves. Quantum access state. Scientific mechanism. 4-8 Hz frequency. Associated with deep meditation, creativity, low cortical filtering. Quantum parallel. Theta state. Reduces linear time perception. Increases quantum probability access. Practical application. Specific meditation techniques to induce prolonged theta state. The bridge between mystical experience and scientific validation isn't belief. It's precise understanding of consciousness as a quantum computational system, continuously negotiating potential realities. Quantum reality navigation. Dismantling resistance, intelligent objections as evolutionary portals. 1. Isn't this just spiritual bypassing? Acknowledgement. Brilliant observation. Traditional spiritual practices often use transcendence as escape. Quantum truth. This isn't about avoiding reality. It's about rewiring your fundamental relationship with reality. Distinction. Spiritual bypassing suppresses. Quantum embodiment transforms. Example. Instead of saying everything is perfect, you're reconstructing the neurological infrastructure that generates your perceptual experience. 2. What about practical action? Acknowledgement. Action seems fundamental to achievement. Quantum mechanism. Action isn't the cause. It's the consequence of aligned frequency. Evolutionary perspective. Most action is actually misaligned effort. True quantum action emerges naturally from coherent state. Practical translation. Your nervous system will generate precisely calibrated actions when frequency stabilizes. 3. Isn't this just confirmation bias? Acknowledgement. Skepticism reveals intellectual rigor. Scientific deconstruction. Confirmation bias operates in linear perception. Quantum reality transcends observer-dependent limitations. Neurological evidence. Repeated signaling physically rewires neural networks, creating measurable physiological changes. Precise mechanism. You're not confirming. You're reconstructing probabilistic pathways. 4. Why do bad things happen? If we create reality. Acknowledgement. Profound existential question revealing deep compassion. Quantum complexity. Reality isn't personal. It's an interconnected probability field. Evolutionary perspective. Bad experiences are quantum learning technologies, not punishments. Transformative insight. Your relationship to experience determines its energetic signature, not the experience itself. 5. This sounds too easy, fast to be real. Acknowledgement. Healthy skepticism protects against magical thinking. Quantum precision. Ease isn't weakness. It's advanced computational efficiency. Neuroplastic evidence. Rapid transformation requires precise, coherent signaling. Performance marker. Speed indicates alignment, not delusion. Fundamental transmission. Resistance isn't blocking, it's information. Your nervous system is constantly negotiating between protective mechanisms and evolutionary potential. The real question isn't whether quantum manifestation works. The real question is, are you willing to become the precise instrument of transformation your consciousness has been preparing for? Quantum timeline convergence. Future self-transmission. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply, not a meditation. A quantum portal. Your breath becomes a bridge between probable realities. Feel the membrane between now and what's possible growing thin, transparent, permeable. Imagine a door, not wooden, energetic, quantum membrane vibrating with potential. Your hand touches the frequency, not the surface. It dissolves. Step through. Immediately, you feel them, your future self, 6 months ahead. But this isn't visualization. This is quantum reconnaissance. They stand before you. Clothing isn't just fabric. It's a frequency transmission, tailored perfectly, not expensive, precise. Each thread carries confidence, not performative confidence, cellular confidence. Posture speaks before words, spine aligned, not rigid, fluid, like they understand something fundamental about gravity itself. Shoulders relaxed, not from surrender, from sovereignty. Facial expression, effortless peace. Eyes know something, not intellectual knowing, quantum knowing. The kind of peace that comes from understanding reality is malleable, that you're the sculptor, not the clay. Energy is magnetic, but not trying. Magnetism happens naturally when internal systems are coherent. They don't attract. They simply exist, and reality reorganizes. They speak, not with advice, with transmission. Stop trying to understand, start allowing. The mind that wants to control is the mind preventing the collapse. Feel instead of think. Your nervous system knows the timeline before your thoughts catch up. Specific guidance emerges. Release the narrative of struggle. Trust the first intuitive impulse. Stop explaining yourself to those who can't perceive your frequency. Your hesitation is the only thing blocking acceleration. As they speak, their frequency begins merging with yours, not intellectually, cellularly, neurologically. Your mirror neurons are downloading an entire operational system. Breathe them in, not as imagination, as information. When ready, turn. Walk back through the quantum membrane, but you're not the same. Something has been transferred, recalibrated. Open your eyes. The room looks identical, but everything has changed. Quantum identity orchestration, the frequency of becoming. Phase 1. I want to be someone who. Energetic signature. Separation. Longing. Potential. Common block. Perceiving desire as distance. Breakthrough. Desire is not lack. It's recognition of inherent potential. Neurological translation. First stage of quantum signal generation. Spoken declaration. I want to be someone who moves through life with effortless clarity, where my nervous system broadcasts confidence before my mind understands it. Phase 2. I'm becoming. Energetic signature. Effort. Transition. Becoming. Common block. Believing transformation requires struggle. Breakthrough. Becoming is not doing. It's allowing neurological translation, rewiring neural pathways through intentional signaling. Spoken declaration. I'm becoming the version of myself who trusts the quantum field more than historical evidence, who knows alignment precedes manifestation. Phase 3. I'm choosing. Energetic signature. Decision. Sovereignty. Commitment. Common block. Believing choice is mental, not vibrational. Breakthrough. Choice is a frequency, not a thought. Neurological translation. Activating prefrontal cortex as quantum decision generator. Spoken declaration. I'm choosing to collapse timelines where uncertainty dominated, where my nervous system was wired for protection instead of possibility. Phase 4. I'm practicing. Energetic signature. Intentional calibration. Precision. Common block. Seeing practice as repetition, not transmission. Breakthrough. Practice is quantum signal refinement, neurological translation, creating new synaptic connections through deliberate focus. Spoken declaration. I'm practicing holding a frequency of inevitability, where my body knows the outcome before the mind conceptualizes it. Phase 5. I am. Energetic signature. Collapse. Embodiment. Certainty. Common block. Confusing declaration with performance. Breakthrough. Embodiment is not a statement. It's a state of being. Neurological translation. Complete integration of quantum signal across neural networks. Spoken declaration. I am the precise instrument of transformation. I am the quantum field experiencing itself through this nervous system. I am beyond past programming, beyond linear time, beyond survival mechanisms. Phase 6. I've always been. Energetic signature. Remembering. Timelessness. Inherent truth. Common block. Believing identity is linear. Breakthrough. Identity is multidimensional, not sequential. Neurological translation. Accessing quantum memory beyond personal history. Spoken declaration. I've always been this powerful. I've always known this frequency. I've always been capable of collapsing realities that align with my highest potential. Phase 7. Quantum silence. Energetic signature, pure potential, receptivity, integration, no words. Pure frequency transmission. Neurological translation. Allowing quantum reorganization without mental interference. Final transmission. The moment you stop trying to become and simply allow yourself to be, reality has no choice but to recalibrate to your frequency. And if this transmission resonated with you, if you felt the frequency shift as you listened, subscribe to this channel. Because we're not here to give you more content. We're here to collapse timelines with you. Every video is a frequency recalibration, not a lesson. Turn on notifications, not so you don't miss a video, but so you don't miss the exact transmission your nervous system needs next. And leave a like, not for the algorithm but as an energetic signature that says, I'm choosing coherence over consumption. 7-day quantum reset protocol, precision timeline collapse. Day 1, frequency mapping. Objective, identify current energetic baseline protocol. 5-minute nervous system scan. Close eyes, track internal sensations, note areas of tension, resistance. 10-minute frequency inventory. List current life patterns. Highlight unconscious repetition cycles. 5-minute quantum calibration. Breathe into discovered patterns. Do not judge. Observe. Resistance handling. If overwhelmed, return to breath. If mental narrative starts, witness without engagement. Success. Sign. Feeling of spaciousness emerges. Journal. Prompt. What frequency am I currently broadcasting? Frequency. Checkpoint. Neutrality, not elimination. Day 2. Contradiction, dissolution. Objective. Release energetic interference patterns. Protocol. 10-min. Shadow mapping. Identify internal conflicts. Trace origin of self-sabotage mechanisms. 15-min. Quantum forgiveness. Protocol. Release judgment of past versions. Integrate fragmented energy systems. 5-min nervous system recalibration resistance handling. If emotional surge occurs, allow without narrative. If old stories activate, recognize without re-traumatizing. Success. Sign. Lightness. Unexpected tears. Body relaxation. Journal. Prompt. What am I still protecting that prevents my evolution? Frequency. Checkpoint. Emotional fluidity, not suppression. Day 3. New baseline installation. Objective. Embodied. Frequency reconstruction protocol. 15-minute identity quantum visualization. Imagine future self. Download neurological blueprint. 15-minute somatic alignment practice. Movement without thinking. Cellular reprogramming. 10-minute frequency anchoring resistance. Handling. If doubt emerges, breathe into possibility. If old patterns activate, gentle redirection. Success. Sign. Spontaneous body movements. Tingles. Journal. Prompt. Who am I becoming beyond current limitations? Frequency. Checkpoint. Visceral certainty, not mental concept. Day 4. Coherence testing. Objective. Reality synchronization protocol. Protocol. 20-min. Quantum resonance calibration. Track external events matching internal shift. Note synchronicities without attachment. Micro experiments. Send unexpected communication without overthinking. Make decision from intuition, not calculation. Resistance mapping. Identify where external reality still resists new frequency. Resistance handling. If old. Pattern activates. Immediate non-negotiable pivot. If doubt emerges. Return to bodily sensation, not mental narrative. Success. Sign. Unexpected opportunities appearing with minimal effort. Journal prompt. Where did reality just bend to match my new frequency? Frequency checkpoint. Effortless alignment, not forced manifestation. Corporate quantum transformation. The invisible redesign profile. Michael Rodriguez, 42. External metrics. Chief Strategy Officer, Fortune 500 tech company. $1. 2M annual compensation. Corner office Manhattan headquarters internal landscape. Survival frequency transmission. Daily energetic pattern. 4:30 a.m. Adrenal system already in fight mode. Morning. Cortisol tsunami, not natural awakening. Meetings. Performative confidence, internal imposter narrative. Success. Externally celebrated. Internally fragmented. Breakdown. Moment. Executive physical examination. Diagnostic revelation. Chronic elevated cortisol. Nascent autoimmune markers. Nervous. System perpetually in threat detection. Body broadcasting. Survival, not thriving. Quantum intervention strategy. Not changing what he does, transforming how he experiences doing. 90-day frequency reconstruction. Phase 1. Nervous system recalibration. Replace hustle with coherence. Transform. Pushing into allowing. Metabolize achievement without adrenal depletion. Frequency shift indicators. Same work output. 50% reduced effort. Increased intuitive decision-making. Physiological. Markers of relaxed high-performance breakthrough. Paradox. When frequency aligns, manifestation becomes inevitable, not effortful. Quantum timing. The frequency of inevitability. Divine timing. Decoded. Not external orchestration, but internal calibration. Manifestation signal mechanics. Intention. Quantum signal generation. Inconsistency. Signal interference. Stabilization. Inevitable collapse. The wobble spectrum. 1. Clean signal. Instant manifestation. Minimal time between intention and form. Nervous system. Relaxed certainty. 2. Moderate interference. Delayed manifestation. Internal contradictions visible. Nervous system. Subtle tension. High interference. Chronic waiting. Repeated pattern interruption. Nervous system. Constant survival mode. Surrender quantum mechanics. Not passive submission. Active signal stabilization. Stopping internal resistance broadcast. Persistence versus pivot decision. Matrix, persist if. Core desire remains stable, internal frequency consistent. External obstacles feel like growth, not blockage. Pivot if. Desire feels forced. Repeated failed attempts. Internal resistance increases. Nervous. System signals exhaustion. Frequency calibration protocol. Detect wobble, identify interference source. Recalibrate signal. Allow inevitable collapse transmission. Checkpoint. Your frequency doesn't negotiate with reality, it defines it. Quantum metaphor. Transmission. Reality as living frequency. 1. Tuning fork. Resonance architecture. Physical mechanics. Vibrating object induces sympathetic vibration. Precise frequency creates instantaneous response. No effort, only alignment. Spiritual translation. You are the fundamental vibration. Reality is the responsive medium. Matching occurs before action embodiment practice. Become the frequency. Stop trying to change external. Allow world to recalibrate to your signal. 2. Hologram. Interference pattern of consciousness creation. Dynamics. Laser intersections create three-dimensional image. Each fragment contains total information. Change angle. Change entire projection consciousness mapping. You are both projector and projection. Whole universe contained in individual frequency. Shift internal. Transform external quantum application. Internal state determines holographic reality. No separation between observer and observed. Consciousness as primary. Creative mechanism. Quantum entanglement. Instantaneous connection. Particle. Physics. Instantaneous communication beyond space-time. Information transfer without linear transmission. Connection transcends physical distance. Manifestation principle. Desire already exists. Alignment, not attraction. Recognition, not generation. Transmission. Checkpoint. Reality is a living, breathing frequency conversation, and you are both the speaker and the listener. Shall we continue exploring the quantum mechanics of consciousness? The quantum radio parable, frequency versus effort. Two operators, one quantum device operator. Alpha, obsessively studies radio manual, constant diagnostic mode, believes understanding precedes reception, spends 30 days, 0 signals received, mental approach, deconstruction, nervous system, constant tension, frequency, interference and doubt. Operator, beta, intuitive engagement, minimal intellectual intervention, treats, radio as living system, spends 30 days, multiple timeline signals, embodied approach, resonance, nervous system, relaxed openness, frequency, clear transmission radio, as metaphor, not mechanical device, living quantum consciousness interface, responds to internal state, not external manipulation, signal clarity, nervous system coherence, tuning techniques. 1. Emotional calibration. 2. Somatic alignment. 3. Thought neutrality. 4. Vibrational matching. 5. Intentional surrender breakthrough moment. Alpha realizes, the radio doesn't work. I work through the radio. Transmission checkpoint. Your consciousness is the most sophisticated quantum receiver in existence. Tune wisely. Shall we decode the next layer of frequency mechanics? Breath, the quantum collapse mechanism, physiological quantum architecture, 20,000 daily manifestation cycles, each breath, wave to particle transformation, oxygen potential, cellular reality, and continuous quantum negotiation between unseen and seen breath as manifestation protocol. 1. Potential phase, pure quantum possibility, information field entry point, no limitation, total openness. 2. Collapse phase, moment of quantum decision, nervous system programming, conscious interference pattern insertion. 3. Form phase, physical reality transmission, energy redistribution, releasing transformed potential breathwork, timeline shifting sequence, coherence breathing, quantum neutrality breath, frequency, alignment technique, nervous system recalibration protocol, spiritual scientific translation, ancient traditions, breath, spirit, quantum physics, breath, reality generator, consciousness, continuous quantum negotiation, transmission, checkpoint. Your breath is not a biological function, it's a moment-by-moment reality creation mechanism. Are you ready to become a conscious quantum architect? Quantum timeline divergence, the 24-hour frequency split, misaligned timeline, survival frequency. You wake before your consciousness fully arrives, phone in hand, scrolling through algorithmic despair before your first breath, notifications like tiny daggers, comparison, judgment, inadequacy flooding your nervous system, each message a micro-trauma, each scroll a surrender. Anxiety doesn't just visit, it moves in, unpacks, redecorates. Your body is a battlefield, cortisol streaming like war signals. Coffee becomes survival fuel, not nourishment. Each task feels like dragging weights, resistance your only companion. Meetings are negotiations with your own inadequacy. Conversations are minefields of potential rejection. Money feels like a scarce resource you're perpetually chasing. Opportunities look like closed doors. Your inner dialogue is a relentless critic. Not enough, too late, why bother? Relationships become transactional, protection mechanisms activated. Your spine carries tension like ancient armor. By evening, you're not tired, you're defeated. Exhaustion is a state of being, not a temporary condition. Dreams feel like distant countries you'll never visit. Your body knows only survival mode. No expansion, no trust, no ease. Aligned timeline, quantum cooperation. You wake and your first sensation is safety, not thought, sensation. Breath moves through you like a gentle wave, nervous system already knowing today is a collaboration, not a conflict. Your body is a receiving antenna, not a defensive weapon. Synchronicities aren't rare, they're your default setting. Right messages arrive precisely when needed. Money moves like water, fluid, responsive, abundant. Time doesn't compress, it expands. Each moment contains entire universes of possibility. Conversations are portals of mutual recognition. People aren't threats. They're frequency matches, potential allies in your unfolding. Your spine is soft yet strong, a conduit of information, not a shield. Creativity flows without effort. Inspiration is your natural state. Work becomes play. Challenges are invitations, not obstacles. Your nervous system knows the difference between resistance and growth. Intuition speaks clearly without negotiation. You're not trying to make things happen. You're allowing them to emerge. By evening, you're not exhausted. You're energized. Not by stimulation, but by alignment. Gratitude isn't a practice. It's your baseline frequency. Transmission checkpoint. Same person, same 24 hours. But which quantum signal are you broadcasting? What we've explored isn't just a concept. It's a living transmission. These two timelines aren't theoretical. They're quantum potentials waiting for your precise frequency alignment. Every breath, every moment is a choice between survival and emergence, between fighting reality and dancing with possibility. To support this deeper integration, we've crafted something extraordinary: the Quantum Timeline Activation Guide. This isn't another self-help manual. It's a frequency calibration tool designed to collapse the distance between your current reality and your quantum potential. Inside, you'll find precise neurological reprogramming protocols, breath sequences that reset your nervous system, and embodiment practices that don't just describe transformation, they trigger it. If this transmission resonated at your core, if you felt something shift while listening, your next step is clear. In the pinned comment, you'll find the link to the Quantum Timeline Activation Guide. But don't approach it as information. Approach it as a frequency amplification device. This is for those ready to stop explaining their reality and start generating it. And speaking of generation, if you're feeling this, subscribe to this channel. We're not creating content. We're collapsing timelines together. Turn on notifications, not to catch every video, but to receive the exact frequency transmission your nervous system needs in that moment. Leave a comment below with your quantum declaration. I collapse, not chase. Make it an energetic signature that says you're no longer waiting for reality. You're generating it. Your timeline doesn't wait for permission. It collapses the moment you become its inevitable frequency. And if you're listening to this right now, that moment is already here.